right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another music conversation. Tonight, I have a guest that I've known for quite a while in the community, pretty much ever since I joined the community. He has been around, and I consider it an honor to have for him for anybody to accept the invite to come on. But I also consider this guy a friend. So without further ado, Bakethesnake. How you doing, man?
Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. As you know, I've been taking a break from the interwebs, so I'm glad to join the show, and thanks for inviting me. And I consider you a friend as well, man. Of course, I sent you out that AOK a little while back. I put a little bit of gratitude out for a lot of my buddies in the community, so I'm glad to consider you a good friend too.
Awesome. Want to shout out somebody who's supported my channel for quite a while here, Unruly Simeon. He's always slanging and banging in the chat, especially on the cover to cover show.
Unruly's pretty cool. He's another one of the homies I sent out a little AOK to. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
So I guess we'll get right into it.
Let's do it.
As always, this is a music conversation, formerly known as The Top. The Top was a working title. I decided to isolate it to a music conversation because that's actually what it is. It's a music conversation about the music that you, the guest, has come across in your life. So that being said, the first question, leading question. What are some of the albums or some of the songs or albums that you have come across during your lifetime that you really hold close to the chest? What?
Oh man, this is hard, especially for me. Like remembering titles of songs, it's just for me, it's more like a sound thing. Like because I love all genres. Different parts of different parts of the day are for different genres of music. Different moods, different settings. It all changes for me. But for me, it's basically like the way I look at it is music is a time machine. You know what I mean? Like anytime, at any moment, a song could take you back to that specific part in your life that meant something to you. So that's why it's so hard for me. Like a lot of it is tied to movies or heartbreak or an exciting first experience for me. So as far as music, it's kind of like one of the first experience for me is like my first cassette tape, that I bought with my money. I bought a couple of them there. I'd say MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, and Criss Cross. Those for me,
Nice.
Those are ones that I bought that with my own money from doing chores. Before that, I'd have to say that meant a lot to me was I'd listen to my dad's CDs when I got my first boombox, and that I don't remember the name of it. It might have been a greatest hits, but Eric Clapton, and listening to like Layla, and just a lot of his. To me, he's considered one of the top 5 guitarists of all time, and I really think he's up there. We can have that discussion another time who the other ones are. The other album when I was little driving around the other album that I don't remember the name of it, but 90s, it was huge. It changed the genre of pop music with the country, is Garth Brooks. That one, driving around to Pee Wee baseball games, and practices, being an only child, whenever I could get my mom to drive me to a practice or to go play, she had that in the car at the time. And not that she's overly like a country fan, but that album itself just transcended and jumped into the pop genre.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, the Unruly.
You're gonna right.
With Clapton, he's up there.
You're gonna think this is corny, but my sister had MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, and Crisscross. She had one of the singles, but the other two she had the albums.
Yeah.
I think those were the first three cassettes she bought with her own money. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, I also have my first CDs. I don't know if that jumps into any other questions. I don't want to jump the gun, but those are also memorable albums for me as well. For me, also, my first CDs, being an only child, I'd go up to New Jersey, visit my family. I'm in Florida, and my older cousin would take me to the boardwalk, and he showed me the record store, and it was CDs, but it was an old place that, everyone was hanging out. And the first three albums that I bought were Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, and Aerosmith. The Black Hole Sun,
Nice.
At that time was big for me. I didn't know what to buy. I was also limited. The only one on that list that was parental advisory at that time was Rage Against the Machine, I believe. And being at a certain age and semi-strict parents, they were pretty, I was away from home. They had no control over it. So I was able to pick those up. And my older cousin, who was cool to me at the time, approved of the albums. So I thought I was making a good purchase.
Nice.
But those mean a lot to me. And then, one of our friends in the community ended up working with one of those people, on one of those albums. Or not on the album, but from one of those albums. I'm not trying to throw them out there for everyone to know, but it's just kind of a cool full circle type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I love Gore. Gore is always dropping some great information in the chat.
Right. But yeah, there's so many different genres, man. A lot of it is in different types of music. Like I said, throughout the day, we got Sirius radio at the shop, so I'm changing the genres from 80s to 60s, 40s and 50s doo-wop. I love that. Like I said, the boardwalk, my family, New Jersey, Frankie Valli, the Seasons, stuff like that. Frank Sinatra. Those are like all sorts of types of music that I just grew up on and loved.
I know this is going to be a difficult one to answer, but it just popped into my head, so bear with me. Of the various genres that you enjoy, which one do you find yourself gravitating to the most?
Oh man, just because the accessibility, I'd have to say hip hop. And like I said, it's just the accessibility. It just seems to be like 90s was grunge rock, that was the main thing. And then, or like early to mid 90s. And then from there on, hip hop started taking over as the popular genre, so to speak. But like it's different time, like during the day, I'm a classic rock type of guy, when I'm in my car driving on my own, I'll go to hip hop just to switch it up. You know what I mean? And then sometimes that just gets played out to me. So then I'll go into like some 90s grunge or some punk rock, NoFX, Rancid. Those are my types of punk. Pennywise, which isn't really punk. I guess it's like a speed alternative. Pennywise is one of my favorite bands. Right. They're another great album that I bought. I got to see them live, which I'll save that for concerts.
Yeah,
getting ahead of myself, man. Getting me excited talking about this.
I haven't listened to a lot of Pennywise, but
yeah, whenever they had a new album, I was picking it up. Full Circle and Half Circle were like my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Actually, genre it changes, dude. Like right now, 80s and 90s. Those are my like growing up, genres to listen to. So right now, I'm kind of like falling back into that, just kind of reminiscing throughout the day when I'm listening to 80s and 90s. I'm not really into new hip hop. It's not really my thing. It's, dating my age. I'm getting old.
I was gonna ask you that very question. Old school hip hop or newer hip hop. But I guess
Yeah, it's hard now because
that
old school hip hop for me is like, Rakim and what's it called? Rapper's Delight and Funkmaster Flex or Grandmaster Flash,
Right.
I mean, stuff like that. But now old school is like 90s. So, 90s hip hop, early 2000s is where I kind of draw the line. I'm not opposed to new hip hop, but it's got to be good. I'm not out there searching for it. I got to hear about the
Right.
song, and if it's good, then I'll listen to it. But the good thing is I have Apple Music, so I'm $10 a month. I can get whatever song I want. So my library, I just got
Right.
this a few months ago, so I've just been adding tons of music to my libraries. Unfortunately, going back to Garth Brooks, he does not want anything to do with Apple, so that's kind of a bummer there.
Yeah. I haven't looked to see if he's on any of the other platforms like
I think he just went over
Amazon.
to Amazon. Yeah, I think he did the thing with Amazon because there's some kind of like
Okay.
Apple wants to split music up into individual songs instead of albums, and the artists get paid more by the album sales or album streams. I don't know how they're
Right.
really going about that nowadays because most people are streaming and not buying.
Right. That's how I listen to a lot of mine. The last record I bought was probably 3 years ago. Physical. Well, no, I take that back. I don't know what I did with it. The last record I bought was Rush 2112, but
I actually just
recent.
added that. I just added that to my library.
But the last CD I bought was probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
But yeah, it's a thing of the past, really. You walk into Walmart and all you see that one little end spot. I never thought I'd see the day where they'd have a bigger vinyl section than
yeah, right.
than a CD section.
Yeah, my CDs, like I said, this is my CD case, dude, and this is other friends. That's our Wu-Tang. That's some R&B. So hard to see Tupac, Method Man. I don't know, Beatles. Tom Petty.
Nice.
Jay-Z, Bone, Trick Daddy. Gotta love Trick Daddy because I'm from the South. 305. Uncle Luke. 2 Live Crew. He's actually with trying to run for the governor of Miami or mayor of Miami.
Really?
Yeah, Unruly. So I've been seeing those. Unruly's been throwing out some good ones out there.
Cool Keith. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Me too. I've just about 1,500, pretty close to 1,500.
It's a shame. You used to be able to like throw all your CDs and then throw them into your Apple library, and now I don't even think you can do that. They got rid of that, so you have to just get the Apple Music.
Yeah.
I remember in the very beginning, you could like load your CD into your computer and then transfer it over to iTunes, and now it's like I don't even know if you can do that anymore.
This is my music collection.
Yeah. Just load it all on that thing and throw it into the car, huh?
Right.
Yeah, I love that. I bought a little like attachment because my truck is old school, no Bluetooth in it, so I had to add my. Yep, I have my cigarette lighter, plug that in there, and I'm like, it's the best $15 I ever spent.
Right.
Well, other hip hop man that I
upgrade.
did like. I was trying to think, man. Other hip hop that I did like growing up, I went through that phase. Was the No Limit phase, man. Like C Murder, one of my favorite No Limit albums. These guys actually changed the rap game. A lot of people don't even realize it. Master P, that was his brother. see murder. He's in jail for selling heroin. Silk the
wow.
Shocker is one of my favorite albums. Charge It to the Game, and Mystical, Unpredictable, another favorite album, hip hop album. Hey, poor Mike, what's up, brother? Sorry, I'm Outkast. Outkast is a great hip hop group. Love them. Young Bloods, and of course you got like Eminem. DMX, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris. Those are just some off the top of my head that were like some of my influential hip hop artists. I already said a few of my rock ones, and there's so much classic rock that I can't even just start listing them all. You know what I mean? And I'm not great with names anyway. That short-term memory loss kicked in. So it's like if I hear it on the radio, I'm like, that's it. Yep.
Well, I heard, I was listening to some 80s stuff on iHeartRadio at work today, and it was like, quote unquote hair metal.
Yeah.
And the Bullet Boys played, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no offense, poor Mike. Yeah, man, I lost 55 pounds, bro. I was actually talking with Mastodon off air, and started working out, quit smoking, changing my lifestyle. Thanks for noticing, man.
I need to get out and lose some weight.
It's all right, man. Just got to get started. That's all. I just keep thinking the cartoon snowball effect starts up here real small. By the time it gets down,
right.
Next thing you know, you're down 55 pounds.
That's my biggest enemy, is getting started.
Yeah, I've got over the years, bro. I got started and quit too many times. So that's why I was like, you know what? This time I'm not quitting. Just got to finish. And there is no finishing it. It's a lifestyle.
Right. I guess we'll move on to concerts. What are some of your favorite concert memories?
I haven't been to a whole lot, but they have been memorable. My very first concert was the '99 Warped Tour, and I don't know why people think I'm crazy, but they had a no cursing rule at Warped Tour. I don't know why. Maybe they were filming something, but when we were walking in, Eminem was finishing up a set, and Eminem got kicked off a stage. So we got to hear him, but we never got to go see him. So that was the one year that Eminem was at Warped Tour. There was also Orange 9mm, Pennywise, which is amazing to see them live. They were actually the only band there that they didn't give a crap about cussing. So they were allowed to, not that they really cuss a whole lot anyway, but and that's why this is weird to me. Other people are like, what, no cussing? Like, I don't know, maybe they were filming something, because it was all like the boards, bikes, and blades. They were, at that time, they had all the ramps and everything going on. So I really don't know. They also had Dropkick Murphys were there. That was a really memorable experience. That was the first time as like a young high schooler that I could just go out with my friends and basically not have to worry about a time frame of coming home. Just go out, party, and have a great time. Nice. Next up, I'd have to say that I don't know how else to call it. Down here, it was called the Chili Cook-Off. It was Kiss Country's Chili Cook-Off. And it was huge, man, huge. It was like a 3-day event. And they had, I can't even name them all off. The only guy they didn't have was Garth Brooks. Let's just put it that way. They had like David Allan Coe, Alan Jackson, Tim McGraw. Like, they just had so many people, dude. It was just, I know I only just named 3, but it was just ridiculous. That's the amount of people. And I don't even really realize, I don't even think they had chili there. But it was a good show, man. From there, I took off to school, man, college, UCF. And opening night, like a welcoming ceremony, they had Busta Rhymes. Bo, what's up, man? They had Busta Rhymes doing a free show. So we all went there, me, a couple of buddies that I just met, and it was just outstanding. Busta Rhymes, one of the fastest and best live performances of a rapper you're ever going to see.
Wow.
From there, a couple weeks later, we went to go see Tony Toka, DJ. A lot of people know him, some people don't. If you do, look him up. And then from there, I actually moved off to Tallahassee. I looked at it as I was over the scene in Orlando. It was too much of a city, not really much of a college town. So I went to Tallahassee, and they have this club up there called the Moon. And I think it would split off. It would be the Moon on Friday and Saturday night, but every other day of the night, it was a country western bar called Stetson's. So Friday night I went there, it was the Moon. My girlfriend at the time got me birthday tickets, and I got to see Trick Daddy live in concert. It was great. I was in South Florida, Miami Dolphins gear. And I was like seriously one of like 5 white guys there. I was in the front row, just standing there, rapping every lyric with him. You know, it was cool, dude, to see him. Yeah. And the most recent one I went to, and probably the best live show that I went to, was Jimmy Buffett and the Eagles. And a friend of mine at the time got me tickets. Their parents couldn't go. They were floor seats. We were like seriously like 12 rows back on the floor. Everyone else was, because it was at the Dolphin Stadium, and everyone else was in like the regular like seats for football games. So we were down on the field, so to speak, even though that's where the stage was now. So we were down there and maybe like one section back. It was a really great time. One of the best live shows I saw. She got a little too tipsy and wanted to leave early, started ruining it towards the end. But for what I got to see, it was a really good show.
Nice.
It definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles still jam. You know, they had what's his name? I'm terrible with names. But they had what's his name son take over. Jimmy Buffett, if you're a down south guy, Florida Keys, like he's just the staple of all South Florida. So it was great to see him live. You know how many like local fairs I've been to where people are singing or playing Cheeseburger in Paradise. So to finally get to see him in person was pretty cool.
At least once, right? You know,
exactly. And it was free. It was free. So it was like awesome. Like it was just a bonus. You're like, what? The Eagles and Jimmy Buffett? Okay. Like, let's go.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
Exactly. So yeah, those are my concerts. Not a lot, but definitely, you know, memorable for me.
Right. And that's the point.
Exactly.
Sparking some memories.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, music is a time machine. So every time I think about those concerts, it takes me back to those years and times and experiences I had with those people.
Right. When I interviewed John Comics with Kids, he hadn't had too many concert experiences either, but the ones that he mentioned, there were prized memories for him. So like I said, that's the point. I mean, I have a lot of, I don't want to say I haven't been to a lot of concerts, because I have been, but they were mostly at fair settings. And when I was younger, my parents, all we listened to in the house was oldies and country music. So I saw like Tanya Tucker. My first concert was Tanya Tucker and Tracy Lawrence.
Nice.
We saw Diamond Rio and Sawyer Brown together, which is a great concert. Who the hell else did we see? Early on, we saw Lee Greenwood and Dan Seals. But yeah, they were. I didn't get to see any like rock or heavy metal until I was in college. Very, very memorable concerts. The drummer for Saliva hit me in the chest with his drumstick.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've been to many rock concerts except for the Warped Tour. I always wanted to go to Ozfest when that was going on, and because they had a killer lineup at the time. I wanted to go to the Up in Smoke tour. Speaking of what Gore said out there with the Super Bowl halftime show with Snoop and Eminem and Dre. I'm actually really looking forward to that, man. I mean, especially I think Dre had an aneurysm or brain aneurysm earlier this year. So to see him back in the saddle again and being healthy and good enough to perform,
Right.
you know, especially since he's been teasing this Detox album for I don't know how many years now. You know, if anyone hasn't seen it, I recommend the documentary, The Defiant Ones. It's on HBO Max. Butchering names. It's with him and Jimmy Iovine, the guy, the main dude of Interscope Records, and it goes back and forth between him, shows his pedigree, and then it goes into hip hop. So I mean, to see the classic rock and part of it and all the people that he worked with and how it's just that's the most interesting to me. Not even the rap and Dr. Dre part of it, but the Jimmy part of it is just. You're like, wow, that's how he got to start. He learned all this stuff from because Bruce Springsteen was a hard ass on him and doing these things. And, you know, you got into this gig because some other guy wasn't there on Easter, but you decided to show up. It's an amazing, amazing documentary. And then it goes, I mean, it even starts off showing how Dr. Dre became the first hip hop billionaire with Beats, you know, so with Beats, I mean, everyone's got some shit. I still got some here, and now Apple owns Beats. So
I've listened through them. I can't afford a pair, but I've listened through them.
Bro, they're super cheap now. You can get them.
They are.
Like these ones here. I mean, seriously, these are cheaper. They're cheaper than these.
Yeah. But yeah, I've listened through them. I'm like, this was probably 5-6 years ago after they came out. I don't know, whatever. But and I was like, damn. And at the time they were like $200-$300, and I couldn't justify paying $200 or $300 for a set of headphones.
Jesus, that's how much these things are now.
Yeah. So
and as soon as I purchased them because it was like some kind of package thing because I had to get a new phone because I ran out of memory. And as soon as I do that, I find out they have cheaper versions. It's like, God, I'm an idiot.
I cringed buying these.
Nice. The skull candies.
Yeah, the only reason I bought them is because I had built up Amazon points, so I used my Amazon points. So $80, nope, free.
My buddy he likes the Raycons, the Ray J ones, you know, and they're relatively inexpensive. He says they're pretty good. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me after I spent $200-something on these things.
Right.
But hey, man, they're good for me. They're good. Like when I'm at my shop, they have the noise cancellation thing. So right now I have a wind shaker AC blowing, and it just completely like drowns that out. And when I'm at my shop working with like big fans and saws and stuff like that, it really helps. So in a way, it's worth it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always worried that if I would have went with those, that they wouldn't have fit my ear right, because I bought a generic pair that didn't fit my ear right, and they wouldn't stay in my ears. I don't know if it's because I'm.
See, this one has three different sizes, so that works out. But then it's like, damn it, when they start going bad and I got to change them, and now I got to go buy because what if the big size doesn't fit me? I don't get three of the same size.
All right, I guess my next lead-in question would be some of your favorite artists or your Mount Rushmore of artists.
Oh God, man, that's so hard. Seriously, I mean, I was already telling you some. Like with as far as hip hop, I went with, you know, Silk the Shocker, Mystical. Those are some great for me. Like it's more about memorable stuff. I wouldn't consider Mount Rushmore. like a lot of people want to say like Eminem, Jay-Z, Tupac, Biggie for that part. For me, and I appreciate Jay-Z. I don't think he's top notch like some of those artists. I just, like Eminem or Biggie or Pac. I think he's up there and like maybe like the top 20, but not so close to the top. I think Nas is better than him. There's a lot of people that are better than him.
I've heard that before too.
I mean, I truly appreciate it. There are some jams that he has, but trying to figure out Chili Peppers, dude. Chili Peppers are classic. I've actually been seeing this more and more when I go on this Apple Music and I type in these names for like one or two songs, and it says essentials, and it shows you all the songs that they've had that are basically hits. So when I start looking through them, I'm like, damn, I did not realize. And one of them that I love that's up there that doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, Green Day. Green Day had so many more hits than people realize because they're so far spread apart. And that really great band, especially in the 90s with the album and Dookie. That was a great one for me. I loved it.
And they've been around longer than people realize too. I mean, they've been around for 30 years. So
yep. Outkast, love them. Must listen to. Dude, Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They're great. Jamming to them. See, Bo agrees. And an underrated rapper, a lot of like Ludacris. Ludacris to me, like I've been listening to him again lately, and man, he really is up there lyrically with a lot of people. People just because he was all funny and gimmicky. I'm sorry, I don't have better answers off the top of my head. I was like, man,
that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, I have some other ones, but it's kind of lead into like the desert island. If that's still going to be a question. If not, then I'll just say screw it and say
it. Go for it. Like I said, the
oh, you know what? It's not on there, but Beach Boys, man. Beach Boys to me are underrated. 311, love 311. I think they're a great fucking band. They're like the island vibes. Weezer, they're not like these are just ones. They're obviously not my Mount Rushmore, but they're just popping into my head right now. I'm trying to think of Weezer's. Yeah. Seriously, man. I don't know. Let me look on my thing real quick. What's another question? I'll spit some out.
Damn it! Now I'm the one that's lost.
Bro, ZZ Top. I mean, yeah, come on. I mean, people want to say the Beatles, especially now that they got that new documentary show on Disney.
Yeah, my wife and I started watching that. It was kind of interesting to see all the interactions and everything going around everybody.
Cool. Oh, I just thought of one here, man. And one, Aaliyah. Love Aaliyah. I thought she was great. But two, another concert I went to. Can't believe I didn't remember this. One of the most fun concerts. Action Bronson. If you're not familiar with him, he's part of a show called Fuck That's Delicious. It was on the Vice channel. And he's also been an inspiration to me losing weight. That dude was like 400 something pounds, and he lost over 100 pounds recently. His Instagram is Bam Bam Baklava. So, like the food, the dessert, and you could see him, before and after pictures of him working out. That was a really cool, to me, sounds like Ghostface Killer. I love Wu-Tang's a good one, as far as they're definitely on Mount Rushmore. Aerosmith, come on, man. Aerosmith for sure. Sorry, I'm going through all the stuff that I've recently downloaded or started like adding to my stream. I could see one show, past or present.
There
Who
you
would
go.
it be?
Thanks, Bob.
Oh God. Know what I'd like to see, just because I saw the midget version, Kiss, and I could say that because
Nice.
they were called Midget Kiss, and they were a bunch of like tiny people like dressed up with the face masks and paint, and they killed it, bro. But I
That's
would like to see
awesome.
the real. I would like to see the real version. You know, Gene Simmons with the tongue and everything, and I think that'd be hilarious. I bet it'd rock too. I mean, I don't really like roll with Gene Simmons these days, but
Yeah,
back then.
that's awesome. One of my coworker and I were talking about Kiss earlier today, and she's not a Kiss or a rock fan, but her husband is big into it. He listens. I have all kinds of metal and hard stuff, and she he took her to a Kiss show, and she found herself very impressed. She says
Really?
I wasn't before. She's I mean they were old because it was only a few years ago, but she
But
said she
still,
was
I
like,
mean, you're not going there expecting too much, and if you still have a great time and you're still impressed,
right,
that must mean something. That's kind of how I felt with the Eagles. I'm like, yeah, I know, it is what it is. But I went there and I was like, man, I was really had a great time, and they were still jamming. Didn't seem to have
mm-hmm.
lost a step. Oh, Blink 182. How do I not? Dude, Blink 182 was like a staple of my life growing up. What's his
Nice.
name's dating a Kardashian now, but that's good for him, bro. Good for him. But you can do whatever the hell you want when you almost die and come back to life. So I
Right.
mean, but yeah, Blink 182 is classic. I would love. And the other guy survived cancer. So I would hope that if they come to a show later on, in the next year or two, I would love to go see them perform again. I hope
Mm-hmm.
they would come back to. I mean, usually maybe you might see them at something like a Coachella or something. Not that I'm like into that scene, but if they announced a show like that, I would have to like try to go make that. Yeah, Barker, bro.
Yeah. How is he not on everybody's top 10 drummer list? You know what I mean?
Dude,
So underrated.
what, the only guy that beats him is the dude from Def Leppard because he had one hand. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's just extra bonus points. Like,
Right. Look at Comic Journey.
yeah.
Wait, they're already midgets.
Yeah, Elvis or Cash would be good. I bet Elvis would be a good show.
I've seen 2 Elvis impersonators in my lifetime, and they were both very good. I was very impressed.
Oh, you know who I'm jamming out to now that I like? Anderson .Paak and Pac, whatever, and Pac and Bruno Mars. I like
Yeah.
Bruno Mars a lot, man. I think he's very, very talented. Right now, they're kind of reaching back into their 70s soul with some Silk Sonic is the album that they put out recently together. But even before that, Anderson was really putting out some good music. I would just call it borderline hip hop, just not had hip hop vibes to it, but not really hip hop. I don't know how to explain it,
Right.
But the Silk Sonic, I'm really digging that right now. That's a good album.
Yeah, I really dig some of the stuff that I've heard from Bruno Mars. He's like you said, he is a very talented.
Right. I mean, his voice,
musician.
the way he handles it.
Yeah.
I mean, he produces a lot of his own music and for other people, like hit music. So I know he's kind of seasoned vet these days, but
right.
I've gone back.
He's got a focused direction. He knows exactly what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. And that's what I like about him too.
When he was talking about the performers for Super Bowl, he's another one of those guys I would like to see at the Super Bowl, just because he's just an all around good music. It's not like we're just getting stuck with, like the recent one with the Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. God bless them, they're hot and all, but it was just straight Latin geared. Where
Yeah.
this guy can hit all genres of music, and it hits a broader fan base. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm in South Florida. I love me some Selena, Gloria Estefan, J Lo, you know, Shakira, whoever. I'm just looking as like hitting a broader fan base. You know, a well-rounded show for a 30-minute halftime experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I am a little concerned about with the Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem, but I don't care. I'm fans. I want to.
Right.
I want to. I want to see it.
Speaking, I was going to say, speaking of Dr. Dre, do you ever think? I mean, I know it's kind of a foregone conclusion because Eazy-E is no longer with us, but do you think that NWA, there's a possibility? I mean, before Dre gets too old.
No, I don't. I don't think so, man. They milked that cow with the movie and stuff that came out.
Right.
I'll tell you, surprisingly, I really had no idea how in depth Ice Cube was, or how crucial he was to a lot of their music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of their lyrics. I mean, I knew how talented he was from his own stuff when he, you know, was off on the West Side or West Coast, West Side Connection. Sorry, and but I didn't realize that he was responsible for a lot of their lyrics. You know, he was the lyricist where Dre was the producer. You know,
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing those two get back together, do something.
Yeah, that'd be
just a collab.
Even if it's a one-off, you know.
Exactly. Just one sound, one song, one track.
I just had another question pop into my head.
Shoot.
What is your ideal wake-up music?
That's hard, man, because I'm not really a morning person. So
okay. What is your ideal bedtime?
I don't know. Waking up, man, I'd probably have to say I'm more of a 80s genre type of guy when I'm waking up in the morning, walking into work. Come midday, I start hitting that 90s where it's a little bit harder. Or early morning, and then come the middle of the day, like I'll start throwing in some hair bands, some heavy metal, and at night I'll listen to maybe some classical music, R&B, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'd like classical music, like some Beethoven, some Bach, that sort of thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Or even like soundtracks, like was it John William Scott or Hans Zimmer? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Crushed Ice Cube. Or just crushed ice.
Crushed ice. I guess that's really all the music related questions that I had.
All right, well I'm gonna jump the gun here then on this, because if that's it on the music. Desert Island albums. This is why I haven't listed these artists or people before.
Okay.
But for me, if I had to have 3 albums on a desert island, and I'm thinking this because I want different genres. For me, first and foremost, I think it's great all around. I love it. The Offspring, smash. Like that thing when it hit was huge. It wasn't expected to be huge. They were just some punk band, like low level, and this thing just took the nation by storm. If you remember, it was just an amazing song. I was in middle school at the time, and we had a syndicated TV, like for announcements and stuff like that at school, and we ended up doing a lip sync contest. You know, you had a $20 entry fee, and everyone first place got money. We didn't do that song, but a good friend of mine that passed away tragically was in that song or album. But the song, I think it was Bad Habits. I could be wrong on the name of that. but I vividly remember him doing some weird stuff, like pretending to play the flute in the part of it, and yeah, it's a great moment. Like I said, music takes you back. But Smash, Offspring, great album.
Awesome album.
Another one, man. If you're going to be on a desert island, you got to have some island jams. For me, that's Bob Marley's Legend. I know it's kind of
Nice.
a shit altogether album, greatest hits
Yeah,
type of
it's
thing.
a yeah, like a compilation.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, it is probably his most successful album.
Yeah, really.
So, and it's great. It's got all the
Other
stuff
than
you want.
Exodus,
Yeah,
man.
and for me, this is actually, I didn't say it because you were talking about the rap artists, and I was saying Jay-Z not my favorite. He's not on the top 5. To me, the best hip hop album, to me, like hip hop pure lyrics, beats, and the guy is probably top 3 as far as rappers in my opinion, is Talib Kweli's Reflection Eternal.
Okay.
Talib Kweli is top notch. You know what I mean? I highly recommend that album if you don't know what I'm talking about. Reflection Eternal. Uh, his lyrics are insane. Uh, yeah, one of my
And
favorite rap albums.
he's a more recent artist, right?
No, that's a '90s album. I mean, that's a late
Oh, is it?
'90s album. Yeah.
I have him
So
confused with somebody else then. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. He's got a pretty distinct name.
Right?
Yeah, but
Oh,
he actually makes a joke. One of the skits on his CD was someone trying to pronounce some girl trying to pronounce his name, and she's murdering it. I can't say it. Like Talib Kweli. But
that's
yeah,
great.
great album. He teams up with Mos Def, Yasin Bey. I think he wants to be called now. He doesn't want to be called. That's another rapper, Mos Def. Top notch.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's my top 3 on a desert island. Uh, honorable mention, Beach Boys, Sounds of Summer. Love that. Another compilation
Nice.
album. But dude,
Yeah.
Beach Boys is just a chill vibe. I dig them. DJ Khaled or Callan?
That might be who I'm thinking of. DJ. Yeah.
We the best. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Appreciate you. All right.
Is that it?
That's it, except for the
The outro?
The Pivo questionnaire, the outro. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's like, man, time flies, bro. We start talking music and stuff and got me spitballing.
Right. The questions made famous by James Lipton on Inside the Actor Studio.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in forever, but I used to love
it. So starting off, what is your favorite word?
Favorite word? It's gonna be on here twice then. Fuck. It's just
Right.
what was it? Carlin said it best. He's like, you could do anything. It's an adjective, noun, verb, adverb,
Right.
pronoun. It does it all. Anything you want, it just signifies it all in one word.
That's right. It's the most versatile word on the planet.
Exactly.
What is your least favorite word?
No.
No. What excites you?
Being in the flow. Being yeah, for lack of a better word, being in the flow, being right, being correct, being not just like right is like proving someone wrong, but like your intuition. You know what I mean?
Right.
Makes you know that you're going down the right path, that you're doing something good. Just gives you a great feeling inside.
What turns you off?
Being annoying. Oh man, that's so easy. Like so many things could fall under that, but yeah, being annoying. Hey, Cookie, what's up, bro? Thanks, brother.
You've kind of already addressed this, but what is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Can always say, can never say it enough.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh man. Try to attempt. I don't know. I know I couldn't handle it because of my stomach and dealing with stuff, but I like respect and like just for being hard work, and I know friends that do it. Firefighter.
Mm.
I think that like would be fulfilling. I know it's super hard. You know, the ones down here have to be paramedics too, and
Right.
they go on some really gnarly scenes. So I don't think I could handle that, but to attempt it and try it and know what they go through day to day, yeah, why not? I mean, unless like lottery winner is up there, can I do that?
Yeah. Of course. I think I would pick that.
Firefighter is out the window. Lottery winner is in. Take it to the bank.
What profession would you not like to attempt?
Shit sweeper.
Shit sweeper.
I would not like to be at the zoo and clean up like elephant shit, or after a parade where all the horses and stuff are riding around. You got to be that guy cleaning it up. Yeah. I'm over that. I've done janitorial work and having to clean up after animals and stuff. No way. No thanks.
Right.
It's for the birds.
And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you enter the pearly gates?
Welcome, my son.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, Bake, I want to thank you for coming on.
No, dude, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for being a class act. Thanks for being my friend through thick and thin. And dude, I had a blast. Absolutely. I hope my answers came out good and smooth and clean. And I hope that it was a good show for everyone that watches. I
think so. Right now we got 8 viewers, and I think that's the most I've had on this show.
Hey, so. Sorry my memory wasn't clear enough for like some more off the cuff answers, but man, I had a great time reminiscing, talking about, having these memories come up, talking about these bands and songs and genres of music. And really thank you again for inviting me. Like you all know, it's been a while since I've been on the interwebs doing shows, and it was a great way to come back and be reintroduced to everybody. So thanks a lot, Mastodon.
Absolutely. Thank you. I also want to thank everybody who came in, who has been watching, continue to watch. Unrolly, as always. Gore, as always. I would love to have Gore on. I don't know whether he would accept an invite, but I would love to get him on here. Poor Mike, good friend. Yep. Good friend. He's down there near you, right?
I think so.
John Stout, Boatwright, one of my co-hosts on the Cover to Cover show.
Yeah, he's a class act.
Miss So, it's always good to see Miss So in the chat. Comic Journey, and that was it. Oh, Hidden Gem popped in there towards the end. Glad to see you, man.
Tampa, yeah, I was thinking Orlando, but it's so close. Tampa. It's like a stone's throw.
I think I got a cousin that lives in Tampa. He works in the computer industry.
Nice.
But thanks again for coming on, and this was a great interview, and I guess get out there and listen to some music, or listen to some music, everyone.
Yeah, you heard him. Thanks again, bro. I had a blast.